Early in the morning of August 20th, they resumed their journey, reaching Jerusalem before noon, visiting the temple, and going on to their destination, arriving at Bethlehem in mid-afternoon. The inn was overcrowded, and Joseph accordingly sought lodgings with distant relatives. But every room in Bethlehem was filled to overflowing. On returning to the courtyard of the inn, Joseph was informed that the caravan stables, hewn out of the side of the rock and situated just below the inn, had been cleared of animals and cleaned up for the reception of lodgers. Joseph shouldered their bags of clothing and provisions, and with Mary descended the stone steps to their lodgings below. Tent curtains had been hung, and they counted themselves fortunate to have such comfortable quarters. Joseph had thought to go out at once and enroll, but Mary was weary. She was considerably distressed, and besought him to remain by her side, which he did. All that night, Mary was restless, so that neither of them slept much. By the break of day, the pangs of childbirth were well in evidence, and at noon, August 21st, 7 BC, with the help and kind ministrations of women fellow travelers, Mary was delivered of a male child. Jesus of Nazareth was born into the world, was wrapped in the clothes which Mary had brought along for such a possible contingency, and laid in a nearby manger. Joseph adhered to the concept that Jesus would be a spiritual teacher, while Mary held to the idea of a Jewish Messiah, a deliverer of the Hebrew nation. Since both Zacharias and Elizabeth had the sincere conviction that Jesus was to become the Messiah, and that their son John was to be his chief of aides, it was not difficult to persuade Joseph to remain in Bethlehem. They stayed over a year, Joseph working some at his carpenter's trade.
This here, my brother, you see this kind of beautiful nativity set here. Music, Joseph, Mary, the baby Jesus, the three wise men, the shepherd, everything beautiful, mark Bethlehem on it. It's all made by my family, by myself here in Bethlehem. After 2002, start the wall. So we have the wall here. And you see how everything is closed. The three wise men, they come late. They couldn't enter inside. They need a permission to get visa to go inside.
After more than a year of searching, Herod's spies had not located Jesus. He ordered a search of every house in Bethlehem, and thus perished in one day 16 boy babies in Bethlehem. But there were believers in the coming Messiah even among Herod's court attachés, and one of these communicated with Zacharias, who in turn dispatched a messenger to Joseph. And the night before the massacre, Joseph and Mary departed from Bethlehem with the babe for Alexandria in Egypt. They sojourned there 2 full years, returning to Nazareth after the death of Herod.